Hello there, music enthusiasts. Today I'm bringing you something that I recently got and I haven't had a chance to review it before. So I was in my local store minding my own business and buying a pack of strings when I noticed something on the used section. This was it. A very nice looking Strat. Camera may be not showing it, but it's a very nice, alive type of red. So I decided to try it. I started playing it, and my first thought was, whoa, this is probably one of the top 5 Strats I've ever played, ever. Look at the price tag, and it was marked $150, which I thought, okay. And then I realized it was actually not a Fender, but a Squier. A Japanese Squier, to be precise. And at that price, it's a Japanese guitar, which for some reason they always have something special to them. They're easy to play and they sound like $1 million. I decided to take it home. It had a couple of issues, like for instance, it was one of the screws of the bridge, which I later learned it's called System 1, was missing one of the screws. No, it wasn't missing, it was over-screwed, so it didn't do anything and I just removed it. It was missing also the locking system, which I wouldn't have used anyways, but that's that. And other than that, it was a very solid instrument, which I was very thrilled to get for this kind of a price. Original pickups and all, a few scratches in the back, but you can't beat the price for $150. That's as good as it gets. So I was very curious and a little bit mind blown because when I came home and I started playing it, I compared it to my US Strats and my Mexi Strat and even my other Japanese Strats, and I realized that it was probably the best playing one of them all. And I thought it was probably also the best sounding one of them all. So I was wondering why. What was it special about it? And I think when I did a little bit of research, I realized that these Squiers made in the late 80s in Japan were unbelievably outstanding. For some reason, I tend to, and I think we all do this in a way, put in the same box all the Squiers, thinking that they are like basically an entry-level type of product. But apparently, there was a time where they were very outstanding instruments made by Squier. And I have to say, lately, some of those Indonesian Squiers that I've played are also very good. Not this good, but still very nice guitars. Not only for the price, but actual good guitars. So, in case you've never played one of these and you're considering a budget guitar that sounds and plays great, I will totally encourage you to give one of these a shot, because I feel you can't go wrong with something like this. These usually sell on eBay or Reverb for around $400, so I was very lucky to get this one, but I still feel that for $400 plus shipping, this is still a killer guitar. And if I close my eyes and I have to think about, and somebody handles it to me and I play it and I hear it, I would probably think this is an $1,200 at least, $1,200 type of guitar. It's one of those situations. Now, I cannot speak for all of them because I only own one. I've never played any other. I played the Fender equivalent to this one, meaning the non-Squier, which it was absolutely identical in every way. I did not feel there were two different guitars, only the decal was different. It was also a System 1, and everything was very sound. So how this one compares to your regular Mexi? Well, the finish on the neck, and I know some people are very particular about this, it's very glossy. And I know some people really are very, die-hard of sanded necks and all that stuff. So if that's the case, you may not care for this one much. I don't really care. I feel equally as comfortable with a sanded neck and with a super glossy one. So it doesn't really make a difference for me, but I thought it was worth mentioning since somebody may care for it. To me, it feels like really glossy. I don't know if it's very thick finished, but it's really, really smooth to me. Frets are, it feels kind of like a reissue. I don't know if that was the idea. I don't know. I don't think it was because of the fancy neck and the fancy bridge. But it's a 2-point, by the way, which is rather unusual. But everything else on the guitar feel really vintagey. Like, for instance, the truss rod you adjust on the heel, which is a big pain, by the way. I wish it was in the other side. Mine, 150. I'm good. And the frets are really thin. I'm not really a big fan of thin frets. I think I like bigger ones, or I did until I played this one. I kind of fell in love with the frets. Now I think I'm totally 50-50. I really like the thin frets and I really like the thicker frets. So I couldn't tell you, but what I can tell you, coming from my perspective of somebody who really appreciates bigger frets, playing this one, I would say that not only I was not disappointed, but I was really eager to have one more guitar like this if I could get it. So the radius, you can probably do some research on this, so don't quote me on this, but I would say this is a 9-ish. It does not feel super rounded like a 7. I would say this is a 9. It's definitely not compounded. It's the same all the way through. The pickups are not very hot. They have a distinctive color to them. They're like cream, while the pickguard is white. And they sound very strutty, meaning that, you know how sometimes, unless you get a Fender Stratocaster standard, the different models have their special tone characteristics to them. Like, for instance, when I play a Deluxe, it does not sound usually the way that I expect a Strat to sound, in the classic way, so spanky and all that. I don't know, if you disagree, please leave a comment. I'll love to hear what you think about it. But in my opinion, in my humble opinion, when I play them, it does not sound as a Strat as standard. And this one does. It's got the quack, it's got the break, it's a very Fender Stratocaster, which I really appreciate for the price. So those are a few thoughts about it. I don't know what else I could disclose that you don't know or that you haven't seen. Oh yeah, the bridge, it's like I said before, it's a 2-pivot point, which I think it was rather unusual on this area, because this is late 80s, I think. But it stays in tune okay. It's not great. I have it set flat, meaning that you cannot pull it the other way, you can only dive. And now it stays really, really nicely. But when I had it set as a Floyd Rose, it had serious tuning issues. Now it's super stable, and so is the nut. So I'm very happy with that too. And I think this is it. So if you have any questions or you're curious about this model, feel free to leave a comment or ask any questions. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna leave a link on the description or at the end of this video with a few audio samples of this guitar just playing through a backing track or something, so that you can see what it's like to hear it in action. I hope you liked it, and see you in the next video.